This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Welcome to the Bethlehem Baptist Church, a Christ-centered multicultural church where our mission is to love God and serve people. Thank you for joining us this evening with a word from the pastor's heart. We're delighted this evening to have Quann, who is the executive director of the Ambler Y, and we're grateful that he has consented to come and spend these moments with us. However, before we begin, let us have a word of prayer. Gracious and glorious God, we thank you for this opportunity to spend these moments together. We pray, Lord, you bless this conversation. Bless, oh God, the work that we seek to do. In the mighty, wonderful name of Jesus Christ do we pray. Amen.
Amen.
First of all, Quann, let me thank you so much for joining us this evening. You certainly have been a blessing in leading the Y to so many outstanding things. How long have you been at the Y?
I've been with the Y since 1998. I started as a 31-year-old, just beyond the loss of my grandfather and trying to figure things out. And the Y presented me with a place of living out the meta-narrative for my life.
And you moved up, and now you are the executive director. Where did you first begin?
I was an every other Saturday wellness coach at the mainline YMCA, which no longer exists. It's now the Haverford YMCA. But in that time, I found a way of helping people to live their best lives through the opportunity presented by the YMCA, and that led to other opportunities with youth and active older adults and others who were seeking better health.
It's been a privilege to be able to serve on the board and serve under your direction. And I am commending you because you're the first African American to lead this Ambler Y. And you've done an outstanding job, and your heart for people. The Y is more than just a fitness place. Tell me about some of the things the Y seeks to do, the holistic development of people.
Reverend Quann, could I just pause and say thank you for what you do? It's because of, in part your energy and that which you've expended on behalf of, this community through Bethlehem Baptist Church, that opportunities for folks like me are made available. To answer your question, the Y is more than just a gym and swim. We have the major transformative purpose of presenting people with ways of discovering better health, whether, I say that we're biopsychosocial beings, meaning that we are physical, we are thinking beings, rational beings, and there's a spiritual component to us. And that if any one of those things is out of balance, that we're not our best selves. And so the Y has programs for kids from 6 months all the way up to, my age and yours as well, where we do swim lessons, we do sports, we do active older adult programs, we have Live Strong for cancer survivors, we have camp and a host of other things that help people to discover health in the different capacities that we occupy this world. Kids in swim lessons don't just learn how to swim, but they develop a resilience that comes from traveling across a pool in an environment that we weren't meant to survive in. Or if it's on the sports field or the basketball court, that they learn to win and lose gracefully, Pastor. These things don't come by accident, that more is caught than taught, and that's what we're doing from the principles of honesty, caring, respect, and responsibility. That happens through all the programs that we present, whether it's large group classes, whether it's small group classes, whether it's personal training, the host of different things that we do at the YMCA. All of them come from that framework.
I find it also amazing because for a number of years, coats that you were able to give to children and that you distribute to the community, Bethlehem has been a recipient of some of those coats. And your leadership has expressed in many ways concern for boys and girls, men and women of all walks of life. Very diverse population of people that you serve. There's another program, and he's on the board, Bill Better Steve. Tell us about what you're seeking to do with that program.
So, in partnership with Do Better for Steve, we do a camp in the borough of Ambler that is at a reduced cost. That camp is not it's not different than the camp that we offer at the branch or in partnership with Wissahickon High School or Montgomery County Community College. Do Better for Steve underwrites summer camp for 20 kids over the course of 6 weeks who otherwise wouldn't have camp. We present kids with social emotional learning and a host of other things that they experience over the course of a camp day.
Your leadership has also been felt through the staff. Got a wonderful staff. People are so inviting and encouraging when you go to the Y and make you feel at home and welcome. And I'm just grateful for how you're leading the staff, as well as the board. There's some wonderful people on the board. I remember Phil Albright, who gave so much to make sure the Y was always available to people of all walks of life, diverse programs that affected the lives of boys and girls, particularly those of color. And so your leadership is certainly to be commended. And I just want to ask what you see the next steps are in terms of taking the Y to another level.
Well, association-wide, we're a part of an association of YMCAs, which includes 15 other YMCAs, a sleepaway camp, a host over 90 child care sites, which are before and after care and early learning centers. Across that spectrum, and then including our YMCA, there is a significant effort to serve more youth, an investment in the future. And so that would happen through our Next Gen program, which includes Achievers, which includes workforce readiness for teens, and also includes civic engagement. Achievers is a college readiness program, a college and career readiness program that allows kids to explore different sectors of the workforce. Also does college tours, and then there is our youth and government program, which includes social emotional learning, critical thinking skills are built in that program, and then Model UN, which is also similar to youth and government. It allows kids to understand how to advocate for others, you know, to think outside of yourself and to see yourself as something larger than just your moving through space and time. And so there are those programs. There are a host of others that we do for youth. There's an investment in our active older adults. Social isolation is as damning as smoking, 6 packs of cigarettes a day. And so we create a space in which active older adults can come and socialize, whether it's over coffee or in a class. That there are social outlets that wouldn't exist otherwise. We do that through reduced membership and a host of other ways. And then there's the service to families where they have a place, a third space where they can come and interact together, whether it's in family swim, whether it's in parent and me classes, or the host of other ways that we have for parents to connect. It's nothing for you to see a family show up and eat dinner in our lobby prior to going into swim lessons or sports classes. So,
tell us about the Silver Sneakers program.
Silver Sneakers program is a program that allows, through Tivity, a company called Tivity, we work with them to provide free memberships to active older adults. And so they can participate in all of our large group, small group, social events, and the host of other ways that we have for active older adults to connect.
You don't turn anybody away from the Y.
We do not. In fact, we have a goal of raising $6 million across our organization that equates to about $160,000 at our branch, where we raise those funds so that folks who in our community who can't afford the programs and services that we offer are able to access those programs. In fact, 1 in 4 members that you'll see at our branch are the recipients of some form of subsidy so that they can participate in programs or they can have membership at our YMCA. We do that in partnership with folks like you, Pastor Quann, who amplify the mission of the YMCA, connecting folks to health. We do that in partnership with folks like Steve and Do Better for Steve and the host of others who come alongside to help us raise that capital. Bluebell Rotary is another partner. And so there are a host of community partners that help us to raise those funds so that folks have access to those programs and services.
So on another level, tell me about what you do in your church. You're a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ?
Yes, that is correct.
And your church?
Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church.
And do you see this as an extension of your ministry?
I absolutely do.
Okay.
I absolutely do. I didn't mean to cut you off from the
That's
question,
okay.
but you know, I say that emphatically. It happened that I told you I was with the YMCA since 1998. Shortly after that, I became a member of Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church, then under the leadership of Bishop Dennis Earl Joel, a friend of yours. That I began teaching Bible studies. I began to minister in the community. I began to do a host of other things, drawn by what God had always poured in me from the start to see the gospel advanced. And so that's what I do, whether it's through Bible studies, whether it's through leveraging the things that we go through as human beings in a world that has not been fully redeemed. That there are things that we are challenged by, whether it's a lack of resources, whether it's a lack of connection, and leveraging those for connection to a holy and righteous God seeking sinful men.
I believe it's God's providence that you were at the Y, and then you went to another Y, and then you were called back as the executive director. Do you think that was in the plans of God?
I absolutely do. I think my entire life has been in the plan of God. I am excited to see what that plan includes for the future. And I say that in this sense. My connection to the YMCA came through what were challenging circumstances, the loss of a significant figure in my life, really not having direction in life, and the Y being a part of how God shaped that direction for me. The opportunities, the increased opportunities to serve people. Mine is a heart of service. The opportunities to serve people in deep and abiding ways, and then to help others, as you talked about my staff, who are an amazing team, who are passionate about serving people in the ways that they do, whether it's the aquatic program, the youth sports program, the achievers and leaders and other programs that we offer. Every single one of those individuals is passionate about what they do. I believe that God put me in place to leverage the challenges that we face as human beings in this world until He returns for us to advance the gospel.
One of the things I certainly admire is your ability to work with people of all walks of life. How many people do you have on staff?
Our staff team at the YMCA, it fluctuates between summer camp and the rest of the year, but it is as few as 320 staff at that branch, all the way up to about 500 staff during the summer.
And I find it amazing that you do so many wonderful things. You just had a bingo celebration. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we did a family bingo celebration. It was the first we've done of that, John. We do a larger bingo event, which is catered towards adults. But this was a family bingo event where families were invited to bring their kids. Amazing event. We raised over $5,000 for that cause of the annual campaign, creating pathways to health for more individuals in the community.
I am so grateful to God. I go to the Y now on at least 3 or 4 times a week and find myself doing exercises and so many wonderful people there. It feels like a family. And I met staff as well as those who participate. And it's just a meaningful experience every day to find myself surrounded with people who care. You have trainers there, individual trainers. How can you individual get a trainer?
You can get a trainer simply by coming to our desk. You can call our branch and express your want for a trainer, and we'll connect you with our health and wellness director, Marla Patchler. We've got a team of trainers who are very experienced at getting people from, being able to put your socks on to running a marathon, whatever it is that you want to do. Reverend Quann, you just said something pretty powerful, if you don't mind if I expand on that. You talked about your connection to folks in a space where, in a world where there are so many different ways of separating, this space, this third place, has been leveraged for the point of connection between people who wouldn't otherwise connect with one another. They don't speak the same language, they don't eat the same food, they don't dress the same way, they don't love the same thing, but they find points of connection so that we just did the coffee event, and I spoke to a woman afterwards, and she said to me, it's so hard meeting other people. I really appreciate you putting out this coffee, not so much the donuts because I just burned the calories, but I appreciate you putting out the coffee that is a point of connection. That's what we do.
Well, when I was doing physical therapy after I was hospitalized, and I'm following that same pattern. So when I go to the Y, I'm on the bike for at least half hour, and I do like this. People looking at me and say, what is he doing? It is up and down, but and everybody comes past, so you okay? And just appreciate the camaraderie and the fellowship, and under your leadership again. And I remember when the Y was further down on Bethlehem Pike, and it's now a church there, and the beautiful facility there, and the improvements you're constantly making, and the warmth and welcoming of people of all walks of life, and the capital campaign that we have now. Tell them how one can contribute to the Y.
So you can go to our website. Let me start this way. You spoke about the capital campaign. Right. The capital campaign is a larger component of our annual campaign. Mm-hmm. The capital campaign, we moved into that building in November of 2010. Right. We are in an aging building now. It's 15 years old. If you own a house or you live in an apartment building, you understand the age of a building. We are raising capital to attend to the age of the building and some of those larger projects. A person could donate by going to our website, Greater Philadelphia YMCA, GPY, philymca.org /Ambler, and donate it at that page. There's a QR code you can give through our Classy page. No amount is too small, no amount is too large. We'll take $1 to $1 million, and your money that you donate at that campaign stays in this community. And so that means more kids in swim lessons. That means more kids in youth sports. That means our ability to attend to life in an aging building.
Well, 15 years doesn't seem like it's so old, but your ingenuity, your faith, and your direction in terms of making sure the Y stays as beautiful as it is and stays as welcoming as it is. And when we talk about the Y in terms of its outreach to the community, I remember we've had an opportunity to have our boys and girls go over there and play a basketball game. And we're starting now to try to develop a youth ministry. And we've had several seminars and retreats there at the Y, and certainly appreciate that as well. What are some of the things that you would like to see the Y do? You mentioned some of the things we're doing now, but what vision do you have to see the Y move in new, exciting ways?
Reverend Quann, I'd love to see us find new ways of connecting youth who are, I know it's passe to talk about the pandemic, but there are real effects from what happened in the pandemic, that social separation. I'd love to see us find new ways of connecting youth to one another across those divides. I would love to partner with outside organizations to do more for active older adults, and then find creative ways of serving more families in our community. At this point, we are 21,000 members at the Ambler Area YMCA. That equates to about 13,000 households. Our community is 31,000 households within a 12-minute drive of the YMCA. I would love to see us find ways of being that convener of resources, in connection with places like BBC, in connection with Do Better for Steve, in connection with Maddie Dixon Food Cover, and a host of other people that are serving in what seem like insignificant ways to affect more households in our footprint. Whatever that looks like. Health is multifaceted, and people are going through. There is more that connects us than separates us. I'd love to extend that to more of these households that we serve.
But again, you mentioned something earlier, and I think it needs to be said again, that Y is more than just a fitness center. And I think, how we move beyond that, talk about holistic life itself and opportunities for persons. They don't have to experience loneliness. They can come together and build relationships. They can share in terms of activities, not just for seniors, but for our youth as well. And just the opportunity to be engaged and to take advantage of the beautiful facility that we have in our community. One of the challenges also, obviously, is transportation, but how we reach the underserved community. Do you find a way in which we could kind of push the envelope to reach those who may not be able to get physically to the Y?
So one of the things we did do in the past was we had a school bus that would go and pick up kids from who didn't have those means of transportation. With the advisory board and some of our other volunteers from the community, we're seeking ways of transporting kids, whether creative ways of transporting kids from the place that they are to here. So in partnership with Wissahickon High School, we're going to partner with Wissahickon High School to do summer camp where kids don't have to, they do half day of learning, and then Wissahickon will transport them to camp. We're looking for opportunities like that to close that gap in transportation.
Are there any opportunities at the Y in terms of student coming in doing their homework or engaging in some activity will help them grow spiritually as well as emotionally and educationally?
Yeah, thanks for teeing that up, Pastor. We have a program called the Achievers Program. The Achievers Program, as I said, is a career and college readiness program where kids who likely wouldn't end up going to post-secondary education onto those opportunities or would be stuck in menial jobs are afforded the opportunity to explore new ways of doing life. One of the components that we added was a homework club. We thought, we'll see what happens. These kids are showing up on Wednesdays where they could be anywhere else on Wednesday evenings to get homework help. They're exploring science and math in ways that they wouldn't if they didn't have the help that they do. Our team do an amazing job of not just presenting those opportunities, but partnering with people in the community. So teachers who are looking for an opportunity to connect with youth in meaningful ways, to create those opportunities to do better in school.
Are there any opportunities at the Y for employment?
There absolutely are. We are always seeking staff. So if you are a teacher, there's youth sports, there's arts and humanities classes. So we have a nature class that we've just added. We have slime science. We have a host of other ways that you can be involved. There's swim lessons. There is youth sports. If you are a social creature, there are opportunities at our front desk to work. If you are one who is an avid worker-outer, that's a technical term, by the way, we have opportunity in our fitness center. So there are a host of ways. If you are interested in working for our Y, you would go to philaymca.org, click Work for Us, choose Ambler Area, particularly Ambler Area YMCA, as the place that you'd like to work, and a drop-down menu will show you what jobs are available.
What challenges do you see in terms of your leadership?
No insurmountable challenges, Pastor Quann. You know, there are always challenges in life, whether it's embracing the ways that there are of separating, but I am leaned in such a way that I see those as opportunities for connection, of understanding what it is that an individual has embraced that is a barrier to connecting, and figuring out how it is that I show them, or we show them as a team, that there's more that connects us than separates us.
Your leadership is very meaningful, and you have a heart for God, and you're here not because of chance or by accident, but God's giving you the opportunity to serve, and you're doing it with a very meaningful heart, and for that we are grateful to God. It's a blessing to be able to see you bring the Y to another level, a higher level, and just grateful also for the many people I've met at the Y who have a commitment to make life better for all people, particularly now when we live in a time where there's so much division, but that you can go to the Y and feel a sense of oneness and feel warm and received, not only by the staff, but by those who use the Y on a regular basis. There's a spirit there. There's a wonderful connection there, and you've created a wonderful atmosphere when people walk in, good morning and how are you doing, and you feel, that you're in the right place, and just grateful. So when we talk about ministry again and how God is blessing you and your own desires to do the work of the kingdom, do you have any kind of religious settings in the Y?
So we do. As a matter of fact, Reverend Quann, you were a significant part of my inspiration to set up our spiritual heritage corner. In that corner, which is not actually a corner, it's on a very well-traveled pathway through our YMCA, is a station in which a person can find a track, a Bible track, as a point of entry. There's a prayer box where people can ask for prayer. And I distribute those to local pastors if asked for, Bible studies or some sort of spiritual counseling, that I distribute those with volunteers who are part of that heritage committee. As I shared with you, am a believer in providence, not accident. It's not an accident that I occupy the chair that I do, and I try to carry out the responsibilities of my job in light of that fact. And I also help our staff to understand, whether they are an every other Saturday staff member or they're there 7 days a week, that they understand that it's no accident that you're here. You were picked for your position, whether it's pushing a broom or teaching swim lessons, and that there's an opportunity for you to be your best self in front of others who are seeking pathways to better health, to deeper life.
Well, I certainly appreciate also, I leave my devotions there.
Yes.
And persons pick up the devotions, and just really grateful to God for all that you do. And you also were very helpful in helping a young lady who now works at the Y, trying to get her life back on track. And many times you responded by helping people, not so much just because of who you are at the Y, but because of who you are with God. And I'm just grateful that you have a heart of caring as a father, as a husband. How does your wife feel about you giving so much time to the Y?
As long as I make time for her, she's okay. I'll tell you, Pastor, she looks for your. If I don't bring that pamphlet home that you create every 3 months, she is quite upset. But as long as, so what I do is not simply a job. It is a part of our life. And before I took the position, I spoke with my wife about what the responsibilities were. She's a significant part of my success, and even don't tell anybody, but even some direction in how to connect with community. She being of Latin descent, and so there really is no separation in terms of taking time from family. My girls, you'll see them. My twins, Shania and Shelby, you'll see them at events. You'll see them at some of your events, Reverend Quann. So we find ways of staying connected with the things that we've aligned ourselves with as we walk out our faith with fear and trembling.
I heard you indicate just earlier that you are now helping to raise a young man.
Yes, yes. Tragically, his mother, who was working her way through some challenges of life, we partnered with her and said we'd house her son while she worked through and got herself to a position. She passed earlier this year, and he is now a part of our household. He was very good friends with my grandsons, and now he is our grandson. He's as much a part of our family as our grandsons are, as my daughters are. And we've fully put our arms around him in this time of loss.
Well, that's the person you are, and just grateful for your leadership and for your compassion to help people of all walks of life. And again, the Y has been such a meaningful place for me. I met so many wonderful people. Deb, who was a part of this church, who's also relocated. I mentioned Phil Albright and so many others who have impacted my life. And the relationships and friendships are so rich and pure. And also the board. We have a wonderful staff as well as a board, and the presidents who are picking up the mantle and leading, and we have a great president now and in the past. And I've seen persons also who have served as president but still continue to serve on the board. And are there any opportunities for new board members?
There absolutely are. We've got about 5 spaces left that we are trying to fill with folks who would help us to friend raise, who would help us to raise those funds that we've talked about, whether it's for the capital campaign or the annual campaign, and to connect us with like-minded, like-hearted businesses, individuals in the community who simply want to see a more robust community where members of it are able to live their best lives.
Well, one of the things also I wanted you to share with those who are watching is that it's not just the Ambler Y, that we seek to support Ys throughout our city and suburbs. So can you say a word about that?
Sure. One of the amazing things about this YMCA in particular is that intentionally, membership at Ambler Area YMCA has significant meaning for places like Columbia North, places like Pottstown, places like Christian Street YMCA, which serves South Philadelphia, or the West Philadelphia YMCA, where those Ys don't exist if this Y doesn't exist. So simply by having a membership at the YMCA, you are supporting the great work that those branches do, the impact that those branches have in their communities. One of the things that we did at the Columbia North YMCA when I was the executive director there was that we did voter registration activation. We clothed and helped folks to find housing and connected with state representatives to be sure that people had the resources that they needed for the gaps that they find in their life. We provided child care at with a high standard so that parents knew that as they went out and worked, that their kids were cared for. It is an amazing thing that happens simply because you choose to be a member of the YMCA, different than your local gym and swim.
Well, one of the things that I am so appreciative of, I grew up in South Philly, and I'm well aware of the Christian Street Y and our support of that Y as well as the Y in North Philadelphia, because it's not just the Y here at Ambler, it's our overall comprehensive care for all of our Ys. Thank you so much for your leadership. What would you want to say to the congregation as we prepare to close out this session?
I would want to say, first and foremost, Reverend Quann, thank you for your support of the work that we do at this YMCA, the work that we do across our footprint in 5 counties and in South Jersey and the Poconos. We're not the YMCA that we are without your support and the support of BBC and the host of others that are connected to your church. I invite you to come and see what we have to offer at the YMCA and to be a part of that work that we're doing, helping people to live healthier lives.
I wish I could find the word to express my gratitude. All I can say is thank you, and what a privilege it is to be able to serve in the community with your leadership at the Y and your willingness to make a difference in the lives of boys and girls, men and women of all walks of life. And I'm so grateful to God that I'm able to go to the Y mentally and physically and spiritually and get the kind of support that I need at this particular time in my life. And for the relationships I've developed, and the relationship with you is such an incredible work unto God. And I've watched you over the course of years stay humble in this position and stay full of vision and, I say, fire, bringing forth new ideas, new challenges that we all have in this changing world that we live in. And so I pray again that this congregation will see the need to be supportive of the Y and see the need to see what they're doing. And if you like additional information, how can they reach the Y if they want to call a website?
The YMCA, again, philawymca.org/Ambler. My email address is ccrew@philawymca.org. I answer emails quickly. I usually turn them around in a day. Or you can call the branch and they'll connect you with me.
Thank you so much again for watching this evening, A Word from the Pastor's Heart. I am just amazed at how many people God has placed in my life here at Bethlehem who serve this community and serve God's people in ways that we really fully cannot understand how they reach out, particularly in a time where we're living with so much racial disparity, so much injustice, so much need, and yet the Y gives back, whether or not it's food, whether or not it's clothing, whether or not it's just a care, providing a safe place where people can come and experience the fellowship and the joy of just life itself, to be able to laugh and glean from one another and to exercise. And I understand that eating good and exercising is important. So I'm standing now like I'm in the Y. Thank you so much. God bless you. I look forward to seeing you next Thursday evening at 7 o'clock, A Word from the Pastor's Heart, on fire for God, doing all that we can to make this world a better place. Thank you. God bless you. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Love God and serve His people. It's what we're called to do. Love God and serve His people. Wonderful opportunities awaiting you. Do you know the way to heaven? Yes, you really need to know. Just count your blessings, brother. Here's the